Welcome back. We are continuing with our lecture 4-1, that is developing. If you recall from module 1, we discussed four types of manufacturing environments. So we discussed engineer to order, make to order, assemble to order, and make to stock, and how they differed. In this lecture, we will focus on developing production plan for two of these manufacturing environments, that is make to order and make to stock. First, we will see the S&OP grid, sales and operation planning grid for these two manufacturing environments and see what information it contains. And in the subsequent sessions, we will go into details of the calculations that are involved in making these grids. So in this specific session, we will focus on the S&OP grid for make to stock manufacturing environment. In the next session, we will see the S&OP grid for make to order manufacturing environment. And then in subsequent sessions, we will see how some of these calculations are made to complete these grids. Of course, practically, these grids are automated. You have to input certain values and your spreadsheet or ERP software or whatever application you are using makes the rest of the calculations based on the formulas and logic that you have applied. So the S&OP grid for make to stock manufacturing environments generally contains information related to sales, production, and finished goods inventory. So you recall from module 1 that make to stock environments actually make products as per forecast. And the demand of the customer is fulfilled through finished goods inventory. So information related to sales that a typical S&OP grid for MTS environment contains is the information related to forecast, actual sales, the difference of actual and forecast that we call the forecast error, and then the cumulative difference and the difference in percentage. For example, for January, the forecast was 2,000, actual sales were 2,150. So difference is plus 150. Actual sales minus forecast, that is plus 150. In the second month, that is February, the difference is minus 50. So the cumulative difference will be 100. For the month of March, the difference is 200. So 200 plus 100. The cumulative difference of actual sales and forecast is 300 and so on. And you can convert this difference into percentage as well. The second important information relates to production. So there is planned production, and then there is actual production, and the difference of two, cumulative difference and difference as a percentage. Now in the subsequent sessions, we will focus on how this plan is made actually. From where does this quantity come? So we will see that generally speaking, there are three approaches. There is a level strategy, there is a chase strategy, and there is a mix of these two strategies that is generally used to make this production plan. But for any plan, as it is practically the case that things don't go according to the plan, so actual production may differ from the plan. So you can calculate the difference and track how well your plan is actually moving from month to month. The third piece of information relates to finished goods inventory. Again, you have some planned finished good inventory, then there is actual finished good inventory for that month, and then the difference of the two, and you can continue with the rest of the calculations. Now, from where does this plan come? So we know that how we make the forecast in case of sales. So we discuss different methods to forecast the sales. We will discuss this point in the subsequent sessions, how this plan is made using different strategies. And the third important part of this grid is the finished goods inventory. So how are these calculations made? So first of all, if we have a look at this planned finished good inventory, so we will see how it is calculated. So for example, if we take example of April, so from where does this 1100 come? So this 1100 is equal to planned finished good inventory for the previous month, that was 1050, plus actual plus planned production for this month, that is April in this case, minus planned sale, that is the forecast for the month of April. So that will be equal to 1050 plus 2100. So that is something that you will you plan to have on hand. So previous inventory plus production. So this is something that you plan to have, minus 2500, 2050 is something that you plan to deliver. So that will be equal to 1100. So that is the planned finished good inventory for the month of April. Similarly, the actual finished good inventory, how is that calculated? So that will be equal to actual finished good inventory for the previous month plus actual production for this month, that is April in this case, minus actual sales for this month, that is month of April. So that will be equal to 800 previous month's inventory plus 2150, that is the actual production for this month, minus again 2150, that is actual sales for this month. That will simply be equal to 800. So we plan to have a finished good inventory of 1100, but actually we are having a finished good inventory of 800 units. And you can calculate the difference and the cumulative difference and the difference as a percentage as well. Another important element of this finished good inventory grid is the days on hand. That is the inventory in terms of days. I mean, here in the first two rows, you calculated the inventory in terms of number of units. So you plan to have 1000 units at the end of January, but actually you had 950 units at the end of January. But we can convert the inventory in days as well. So that is actually easy to interpret. How much worth, the number of days is the inventory that you are having. So how is that calculated? For example, if we talk about May, so there is a forecast of 2100 units for the month of May, and you have 800 units on hand at the end of April. So according to this demand of 2100 units, how much worth the inventory in terms of days is these 800 units? So first we need to convert this demand or forecast, that is the monthly forecast, in terms of daily forecast. So let's assume that if there are 20 working days in the month of May, so the monthly forecast of 2100 units will equal to a daily forecast of 105 units. And the inventory that we have at the end of April is 800 units. So that will simply turn out to be 800 divided by 105. So that will be 7.62 to be exact. So we are carrying an inventory worth 7.6 days from April to May. So in simple words, we can say that out of the 20 days of the month of May, about 7.6 days demand can be met from the finished goods inventory that we are carrying from the month of April. So I hope you have got an idea. We will be performing some of these calculations, especially this developing the production plan and checking this plan against the available capacity in the subsequent sessions. But in the next session, we will discuss the S&OP grade for a made to order manufacturing environment. Thank you very much.